This is my final version of my Eagle Design transistor testing PCB. It is meant to be able to test NPN and PNP transistors, which are installed into 1x3 male-female headers. A positive test, meaning the transistor is working, will be signified by the turning on of a green light when the switch is turned on, and a negative one will be signified by the light not turning on when the switch is turned on. After the PCBs arrived, some design issues with the transistor tester were made clear. First of all, the lettering, which stated the name of the PCB and the designer, appeared very small and obscure. This was because it was on the wrong layer in the Eagle design. This will be fixed by moving the lettering to the T-Silk layer in V2. Also, the Aces logo was on the wrong layer since it showed up on the bottom instead of the top. This will also be moved to the top layer in V2. Finally, the holes on the corners were far too small to be of any use, which will be fixed by moving them up to the proper size in V2. The assembly process for this PCB is rather simple. It consists of collecting the necessary parts for this project, dry fitting them onto the board, and soldering them down. Most of the parts are easy to find since it is a simple circuit. However, one part that had to be specially ordered were the 1x3 male-female headers so that the transistors could be swapped in and out with ease. Once all the parts were collected, the rest of the assembly phase was simple since it just consisted of dry fitting the parts and soldering them on. The testing period was relatively straightforward for this PCB. The only thing that required debugging was the missing connection between the two ground pins of the DC power jack. This error disallowed the PNP transistor testing side from working, but it was simply resolved by adding a jumper wire there between the two ground pins. After that, the circuit worked exactly as it was supposed to. In V2, this connection will be made prior to the printing of the PCB. A 3D case was designed but not printed for this PCB, seeing that some modifications to the case may need to be made for V2 of this PCB, so it would be a waste of time to print and then reprint the case. And that is how this PCB, the transistor tester, came to be and works. Thanks for watching.